Welcome to today's class. So today we'll be designing with CorelDRAW. So for you to make any design on CorelDRAW, you click on your CorelDRAW app, then it will bring out an interface like this. It will bring out something like this, but you might not really have all of this on your own because maybe you've not done any work. So first of all, the first thing we are going to do is to click on new document. So when you click on new document, you can give it any title of your choice, but I don't want to give it any title now. I want to give the title when I'm saving, or let me just give it a title. Let me just call it TA2. Let me just call it that. So the next thing is, here you write the number of page, which is just 1, and the color mode we'll be using is RGB color because we are not printing this work. It's just for a social media post. So here your width will be 1080 by 1080 pixels. Don't put inches, make sure it's on pixels. Then here it will be, your resolution will be 300, after which you click on OK. When you click on OK, it might take a bit time to show this, so you zoom in, you can zoom in, or better still, is like my mouse is having some issue, so I'll just come here, click on it, and to page. This is my workspace. So unlike Photoshop, CorelDRAW is different, that when before you start working on anything, you have to create your own workspace. So it's not like Photoshop, you can just start working once you have your workspace, you just start working. No. So here we are going to, for you to create that, you come to this triangular tool and double click inside it. Have you seen it? Instead of me coming to draw, it has drawn it for me. And then I'll come to this place. You can use here, you can also use here. I'll click on this place, I'll right click on it. I right clicked on it so that I can remove the strokes. Yeah, I don't want it to have stroke, I don't want it to have stroke, so that is why I right click on it. So the next thing I'll be doing now is to import my background. So for you to import anything on CorelDRAW, you just press your Ctrl+I. When you press your Ctrl+I, which is Ctrl+I, it will bring out this. So you can just go ahead and search for your background anywhere you save it. Just like me, I save all my background under documents. So that is why I clicked on documents, and I'll find my background here. Here is my background. I'll click on it and now click on import. Then I'll come here. So, and that is it. I'll click on the pick tool. So unlike Photoshop, CorelDRAW, before, for you to work on it, you don't have to just put the background, you power clip it inside so that it can fit in properly. So let me just reduce it. Yeah, the reason why I reduce it is to enable me make the background to be the same size with it. So now I've measured it and it's the same thing. What I'll do now is to right click on it. When you right click on it, you see power clip inside, and even if you right click on it and it doesn't show you that, just come here, come to object, click on it, you see power clip inside, power clip, then you click on the power clip, you see power clip place into the frame. you can use this, or the easiest way is just to right click on it and now power clip inside. You come here, you click on it. Have you seen it? It has fits into the workspace properly. So let's take it back to page size. So but I don't want to be seeing all of this, so because of that I will double click on it and now click on it again, so that I can place it very well. So now I'm done placing it. I made sure that this text is below here, so that I can, when I click on my finish, the text will no longer appear on my work. So the next thing I'll be doing now is just to, let me quickly import my image, the image I'll be using. So I'll click on Ctrl I, then I'll find my image anywhere that I save it, which is still under document. Then I'll click on it and then import, and this is it. So for you to make an image bigger, that is to enlarge it, you come here, you wait for you make when your arrow changes to this before you now draw it up. But me, whenever I'm working on CorelDRAW, I don't like it when my image has a whole lot of space here. So because of that, I'll just click on my pick tool, I will select this whole edge, then I'll bring it this way. I'll come here, I'll select the whole of this. Then I'll come here, I'll also select this place like this before I'll bring it down. Then I'll click here. So my image doesn't have a whole lot of space around it now. So I'll now come, I can bring my image here, but I don't want to do that because it might not fit in just the way I want it. So because of that, I'll right click on the image and then power clip inside. I'll come here, I'll click. So for me to edit the image, I will double click on it. Then now I'm done placing the image the way I want it to be. Then I'll click on finish. So now I have my image, I have everything just the way I want it. So I want to make it larger so that I can see everything I'm doing here very well. So but then I want to bring in something to make my background more fine. So I will still click on my Ctrl I to import. So I'll click on this, I'll click on import. So I'll reduce the size. So I will right click on it and then power clip inside. I'll click here, I'll double click on it so that I can edit it. So I will now click on finish. So it's now okay this way. Let me still double click on it. I still want to put this. I think this is now okay, but then I don't want this to be showing so much, so I want to make it a bit transparent. So I'll come here, I'll click on this place, then I'll click here, then I'll come to this place and increase the transparency. I'll increase it to, let's just make it 50. 50 is okay. Then I'll click on finish. So I'm done with that. The next thing I'll be doing now is to start my typing. So I'll come to this place. I want to make it big so that I can be seeing everything I'm typing very well. So I'll just make it 75. I'll bring this up. So I'll come to my triangular to click on it. Then I'll come here. I'll draw a triangle. The reason why you can't see the triangle is because it's the same color with the background. So let's change the color of the let's make it this. Let's try something more deep. So I think this is better. So the next thing we'll be doing is to make sure that it doesn't have stroke. You come here, you right click on this. You can see this place that has something like a strike, so you just right click on it so that it won't have any stroke of any color. So now I'm going to duplicate this into 3 because I'll be needing like more 3 of it. So for me to duplicate, I'll just press Ctrl D. So I clicked Ctrl D into 3 times because I want it into 2, that because I already have 1. So I'll come here, I want to increase it. I want to change the color. So I think this color is better. Yeah, I think it's better. So why this? I want to change it to, I don't want it to have any color. Why I'll give it a stroke? I want it to have a black stroke. So I'll click here and select the highest black color. So I'll come to this place. Let me make it 3. So I think it's now okay. So now I'll be selecting the three of them because I want to align the three of them. So I'll now press C. When I select the three, I'll press C, then it will align properly. So the next thing I'll do now is to add my text to it. So I'll come here, I'll click on my text tool, then I will type. So this is it. So now the name of the font I want to use is Montserrat. Don't forget. I'll come to this place, I'll click here. If you don't have it, install it on your system. I'm going to give you a video of how you can install fonts on your system and on your phone. So I'll click on Montserrat. So now I have my Montserrat. I'll reduce the size. Let's reduce the size to something like 12. I think this 12 is better, but then let's make it white. I want it to be white in color. I want it to be white. So now we've changed the color of the text. Let's quickly align it with the rectangle. So you select it this way, then you press C. It will align by itself. So the next thing we'll do is I want to duplicate this because I still want to use the same font for another text. So I'll press Ctrl D to duplicate. So I'll bring it here, then I'll click on my text tool, then I'll delete this, I'll clean this, and now type. So now I've written it. Next thing I want to do is I'm still using Montserrat, but it's not this kind of Montserrat. The typeface is different. So I'm going to be using Montserrat Bold. Let me use Montserrat Bold. So this is Montserrat Bold, and I want to increase the size. Let me make the size 18. So now I have it this way. So for me to align them, I'll still do the same thing. It's not control, just press. Once you select it, press C on it. So and we are good to go. So that's it. And the next thing I'll be doing now is I still want to type another term, but this time around I just want to select my text tool and type. You can always select your text tool anytime to type anything, or you can just duplicate this and then type. So let me just use this and show you an example. This is it. I'll just type. It's still the same thing, just that the font you are using, it might show you a different font, but then you change it. If it shows you a different font from the one you are using, you change it. So now I'm done typing. It's too big, so let me first of all reduce the size. Let me just make it 9. So let me change the color to black. Then the name of the font it's showing me is different from the one I'm using, so I want to use my normal font. So let me quickly go to my Montserrat. You can come here, you type Montserrat. Then if it's already showing you Montserrat, there is no need of you typing it. So let me make it Montserrat medium. Then let me reduce the size more because it's too big. Let me make it 8. So this is it. So I want to align it all together, but before I do that, let me quickly type in here. So I'll just duplicate Ctrl D and now bring the one I've duplicated. Oh, sorry, in case if you try anything and your work disorganized or something, just press Ctrl Z, which is undo. It will just go back to normal way it is. So now I've duplicated it, I'll bring it here. I'll now click on my text tool and then I'll type. So this is it. I'll bring it in here. So I want to make it a bit more bold, so I'm going to be using Montserrat semi bold. So, and I think it's just perfect. It's just perfect. So I'll select all of them now and make sure that I'll click my C. All of them are now properly aligned. But then before you start any design, make sure that you put a line, that is a rule that can help you to align all your work. So I'm going to bring this down. Let me bring it to where I want my work to start, and I think here is better. Then for me to bring down my work, I'll just select all of them, then I'll bring it down. You see what it does? It helps you align your work. So this is now perfect. So for now, what is next? So let me put it to page. So now we've put it to page, you'll find out that most of them are too close to each other, and that is not what we want. So we'll click on this, we'll just select it. I'll bring it down a bit. Let me make this 8. Let me increase them. So now I'll just select all of them and now press my C. I'll click on C so that I can align all of them together. So but I think the color we use here is not the color we want, so I'll come here, I'll change this color. So I think that color is better. So the next thing we are going to be doing now is I want to put some text here. So I'll click on this. I'll click on Ctrl D to duplicate. So now I've duplicated it. I'll bring it down here. Let me change the color so that you can see it. Let me select the darkest kind of black. So I think this black is okay. So I'll click on my text tool. I want to type something like order noun. So let me first of all put order. So for the order, we are going to be using, we're already using Montserrat bold. So let me make it smaller. So I'll duplicate that one too. Ctrl D. Then I'll bring it out. I'll bring it down here. Then click on my text tool and I'll type now. So I'll change the font. Here I'll change it to the medium. That is Montserrat medium. Let me reduce the size to 12, or better still 14 is still okay. Let me make it 14. So I'm going to be selecting the two of them. I'll select the two and click on C to align it very well. So that is it. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to put a kind of text here. So I'll click on this and now Ctrl D. I've duplicated it. I'll bring it here. Then click on my text tool to type. So now I'm done typing. I want to align it. If you want to align it to the center, to the left, to the anyhow, just come here, click on this place. Then I want it to be centered, and you see the changes. You saw what happened. So the line in between it is too much. It's too much. It has a big line in between it. So because of that, I'll click on my shape tool. You see this one that is facing this side. It's used to, let me show you. This is what it does. But then this one is used to reduce the space at the height. So there are so many ways to do this, but I think for now at this level, this is the simplest way you can do that. So you just do it this way and you've reduced it. So let me change the font we use. You first of all click on your pick tool, then you come here, Let's still use Montserrat, but then let's use a different kind of Montserrat, you know. Montserrat, let's use this. So this is very fine. So we are going to be reducing the size. Let's reduce the size to 8. But then let me put a rule here to help me know where to start placing all my tests. So this, we're about to breaking rule. I think this is now okay. We're almost done. I told you it's going to be a very simple design. So the next thing I'll do is let me still bring something, this type of thing. Let me still bring small one here. So I'll click on my Control I to import, then click on it, import, and that's it. So I'll reduce the size. This time around I don't want to power clip it, so I'll just bring it straight forward, then I'll reduce it. I want it to be small, I don't want it to be big. I want it to be very, very small, like small but not like too small. It's not like too small, but you know what I mean now. We Africans, we say you want it small, but it's not really small. So this is the way it is. I think this is okay. I think this is now okay here. Yeah, I think it's okay. So the next thing I'll do is, whenever you are making any design, always don't ever forget the purpose of that design. Every design has its purpose. So as this is a business flyer, what you're going to do is to add a contact, a way these people can contact us, because your flyer might be beautiful, people will see it, they might be interested in what you are talking about, like your product, your services, but due to there is no way they can contact you, you end up losing customers. So you select your triangular tool, you come here, I'll draw it this way. Nope, it's too big. It's too big. Oh. So let me go to my pick tool, click on it and reduce it to however I want it to be. So I don't want to have this color. So let me give it a pure white. So let me bring here so that I can choose the purest kind of white. I'll click on it and I'll click here. I don't want to have any stroke. Right click, so there is no more stroke. Then, but I think it's too big. I think it's now perfect. So I want to power clip it in. I'll bring it outside. Remember, anytime you want to power clip something inside, always make sure that it's outside this place, it's outside your workspace. Then I'll right click on it, then power clip inside. Then I'll click here. You can see where it took it to. I'll double click for me to edit it. So I will now, as I double click so that I can edit it, I will now bring it to where I want it to be. So I think here is better. But then I don't want it to be, I want to make it transparent. So I'll click here, then I think I still want to increase the transparency, so I'll click here and I'll increase it. But then I think this is now okay. This is now okay, so that we can at least differentiate it from our image. This is still okay though, but so let's use it this way. Then you click on finish. We finished it. So the next thing I'll do now is to add my contacts. I'll just click on my text tool, and I'll type my contacts. So I want to use Montserrat for it, but then I want to use Montserrat semi-bold. I don't want it to be too bold, I don't want it to be too small, you know. I just want it to be moderate. Then Control D to duplicate, then bring it down. Then I'll click on my text tool. What I'll type is Graphics Comforts. That is our Facebook name. Or let me just use my Facebook name. So let me not use the page name. Let me just use my main Facebook account name, Elijah Comforts. So you type, and that is it. So I'll bring it in. This is so good. So this is it. So there is this font I'll be introducing you to. It's called Social Circle. This font is just it's used to, like, for example, if I want to use a Facebook icon, if you want to use any social media icon, the only thing you have to do is just to type the first letter of that social media. For example, now I want to use, let me show you. For example, I want to put Facebook icon. I'll just type F, then I'll come here and change the font name to Social Circles. So you install it. I've taught you guys how to install fonts. So you just type Social Circles. Here is it. I'll click on it. Social Circle. So let me make it bigger so that you can see it. And listen, it has shown me Facebook icon. I don't have to go thinking of how to get a Facebook icon. It just provides me with one. Except in a situation whereby you want to use all these colored icons, then you have to download them. Otherwise you don't have to. Control D, because I want to put another icon, which is WhatsApp. Click on my text tool and put W. You see what I'm talking about? Right? And it gives me WhatsApp automatically. This is it. It will give you WhatsApp, any social media icon. Just once you type the first letter, it will bring it down for you. Isn't that like it's like a magic? Shebi, it's so sweet, I swear. So are we done with our design now? There is one thing you should never forget to do. Whenever you are done designing a particular thing, always look at it and ask yourself, is there any mistake, is there anything I'm supposed to put on this design to to make it more fine. Then, like, now I'm thinking of something. Okay, let me put something here. So I'll just click on my text tool, click here, and let me just use full stop. You type full stop into 4, then you click on your enter, you still put into 4 again. Let me just do it like 4 times. So, and that is it. So let me change it to Montserrat bold. Okay, semi bold is still okay. So let's change the size to 16. So, but then I want to reduce the line in between it. So I want to increase this. So let me make it more bold. Let's change it to let's reduce it a bit. So let's press Ctrl D to duplicate. Don't forget CorelDRAW, Ctrl D to duplicate. Photoshop, Ctrl J to duplicate. So all of them are different. So how do you see this? This is beautiful. This is so good. So I think we are done with our design. So let me bring this down a bit. So let me bring this down a bit. Ctrl Z, once it back. So we are done now with our design. Everything is perfectly okay. So I'm going to be showing you how you can save your work. So you come here, you click on file, you go to. So now we are done saving our work. I'll be showing you how you can export your work. So for you to export your work is different from the way you export on your Photoshop. So on CorelDRAW, for you to export your work, you click Ctrl A. For you to export your work on CorelDRAW, you click Ctrl A. Ctrl A is to select all. You are selecting everything. Then you click on file, you go to export. You go to export. Then you export here. You see, this is because we've exported it before, so you click on yes. Then it's going to bring out something, a kind of, let me say, a box. So this now, what you're going to do is to make sure that the color here, your color mode is RGB color. I've taught you guys about color and color mode. So because we are not printing this color, is just for a social media, it's just for our social media post. So that is why we are going to make it RGB color. So then you click on OK. Now you've clicked on OK, you've exported everything. But before you export, always make sure that you click your Ctrl A to select everything, because if you don't select everything you end up exporting nothing. It will only export the background. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for being part of this class. I love you.